Hi there. Welcome to the webinar workshop, Systematic Content Marketing. I'm glad you made it. Let me start by asking you this. What's your biggest marketing bottleneck? Every business owner has one, probably more than one. So think about it. You need to drive more leads for your business. And in order to do that, you'll need to fire up a new marketing channel and get moving. Facebook ads, retargeting ads, webinars, sponsorships, email marketing, content marketing. As you try to start up your next big marketing push, what you quickly learn is that you can't just push a button and see results. It seems that easy at first, but the deeper you get, the more roadblocks you face. And then suddenly, instead of getting your new marketing campaign up and running by lunchtime, you've lost a full week and you still haven't launched it yet. So what's holding up your progress? Well, every single day, business owners tell us the same thing. Their biggest marketing bottleneck is content. No matter which marketing strategies you're using, content plays a key role. You're driving cold Facebook ads? You'd better be offering free content to attract those leads and keep cost per click low. Running webinars? You'll need an email list built using content lead magnets in order to get people to attend. Organic search? You'll need high-value content assets in order to rank highly in search engines and attract the right visitors. And what about the back end? If your marketing channel has a 10% conversion rate, that's usually pretty good. But what about the other 90% of those leads who didn't buy when they first discovered you? Most businesses are letting those leads get lost for good. But if you have a follow-up strategy in place, delivering valuable content on a consistent basis and keeping your name top of mind and in their inbox, then you can convert a large portion of those leads over time once they become ready to buy. And that too requires content. And so we're back to square one. Your biggest marketing bottleneck, preventing you from driving and converting more leads, is content. But the answer is not to just set aside some time for you to sit down and write some content. You know that's not sustainable. Plus, who knows if it'll work? So just writing is not a marketing strategy. What you need is a system. And that's what today's webinar is all about. You'll learn what a content marketing system looks like. One that not only can run without requiring ongoing time and effort from the founders, but also drives results and keeps working for your business over time. Who am I? I'm Brian Castle. I'm the founder of Audience Ops. We're a content marketing company with 3 distinct products. We've helped hundreds of clients with our done-for-you content service. We teach our strategy and system through our training program. And we've built our own software tool called Audience Ops Calendar, which automates and streamlines the content marketing process. After today's lesson, I'll tell you more about our products, and I'll open up access to a special offer that's not available anywhere else, so you won't want to miss that. But for now, let's dive into what I'll be teaching you in today's workshop. First, we'll build your content strategy, or in other words, figuring out who you want to attract with your content and how to figure out which topics will truly resonate with them. Then we'll get into how quality content is made. I'll show you what a repeatable content production process looks like. After that, we'll cover how to grow sustainable traffic. Sustainable is the key word here. I'll cover some promotion strategies that can work at scale. And finally, automation. How to get yourself off the endless content treadmill while publishing new content and still connecting with your audience on a consistent schedule. Now, in each of these sections, I'll give you the low-hanging fruit. That's something actionable that you can do right now to get started. Be sure to follow along in the workbook that I provided to you before this session, which guides you through those action items. Also, if at any point you want to ask us a question or get in touch with me or my team directly, just use the live chat on this page. We'll get back to you within just a few hours, but often within a few minutes. Okay, so let's dive in. Here we go, part 1, building your content strategy. Many people think of a content strategy as simply stating an objective, like weekly blog posts of 1,000 words each, or 100 blog posts about our keyword, or my personal journal about starting a business. These are not content strategies. So what does an effective content strategy actually consist of? Audience personas. Understanding your target customers, who they are, what they care about, what their goals and challenges are, and how these change depending on the stage that they're at in their buying life cycle. Documenting your key audience personas makes everything else in your content strategy a lot easier. For example, here at Audience Ops, we've identified 3 slightly different audience personas for our products. The solo founder doing content marketing for their business, a manager of a team who is amping up their content marketing, and an agency owner who does content marketing for clients. When we crafted our content strategy, we went into much more detail about who these people are, what their goals and challenges and questions are, and we've used this as the basis for our content strategy. Pillar topics and hubs. With an understanding of your target audience personas, you can gain a clear idea of the handful of topics that are most important to them. There should also be some overlap between the problems that your business solves for customers and the topics that resonate most with them. These are what we call pillar topics. Another way to think about these would be hubs of content that center around these pillar topics. For example, Help Scout has created a resource library containing several hubs of content. Each one of these includes a table of contents linking to a collection of more specific content around key topics that are important to their customers. Your production schedule and process. Creating a high-quality piece of content just once doesn't do you much good. The key to driving results with content is to do it consistently and repeatedly over a sustained period of time. The only way to execute on that is with a schedule and a well-defined process. Take time to map out all the steps that go into producing a single piece of content, and then set up a recurring publishing schedule with tasks delegated to the right team members. Here's a look at our Audience Ops calendar software, which manages our standard checklists for producing each piece of content. Now, this is just an example. Our checklists actually contain many more steps than what you're seeing here. But it's important to have some kind of system in place to keep track of all the little things that go into producing quality content on a schedule. Distribution and promotion. Just hitting publish is not enough. You have to have a strategy for distributing your content to your social channels and promoting it to gain even more eyeballs. Pre-scheduled social posting, sharing content inside communities in your industry, outreach to influencers, paid traffic, promoted posts. These are just a few examples of things that would go into your distribution and promotion strategy. I'll cover these in more detail later in this workshop. And finally, you'll need your system for capturing leads and converting them into customers. This requires a well-thought-out marketing funnel which maps out the specific strategy to go from traffic to leads to sales. From day one, it's critical that you give some thought to how you'll deploy your content at every step of the funnel. There are plenty of directions that you can go with this, but all follow a common set of mechanisms. Starting with freely available content on your blog, then planning high-value lead magnets to attract email subscribers, and then moving into your nurture sequences to educate leads and build trust. And finally, when and how you'll convert those leads to customers without coming off as too pushy or salesy. Now, I know I gave you a lot to think about already, but for now, let me just give you some basic low-hanging fruit. Start with your audience personas. Use the workbook that I gave you and write out answers to these questions. Who are your best customers? What are their top 3 goals? What are their top 3 challenges? What are 3 or more common questions that they ask? Take some time with these and revisit these questions over time. The better your understanding of these audience personas, the easier everything else in your content strategy becomes. On to part 2, crafting quality content. When you look at a company who does content marketing really well, what is it that sets their content apart? Their content cuts through the noise. So how do you make your content cut through the noise? It has to be original and insightful. Take a stand and a point of view. Offer a new perspective. Go deeper and get more granular with the details. Give your readers something to think about. Back up your content with research and data. Take extra time to vet your sources and add depth to your coverage. Dedicate resources to ensuring that you have a high production value. It starts with your writers and your editing process, but the quality should shine through the design of your blog, original illustrations and diagrams, all the way through your email messages and social media postings. Finally, this dedication to quality must be ongoing and consistent. One single piece of quality content is good, but to really see results and to build loyalty from your audience, you need to deliver on a consistent, ongoing basis. Now let's look at a few examples of companies whose content that I happen to follow because I'm consistently impressed with their dedication to quality and consistency. Help Scout, their customer support tool, which we happen to use here at Audience Apps, they have a fantastic blog and a collection of resource hubs. Zapier, another tool that I use, it's for connecting apps together, publishes consistently useful content about productivity. And InVision, yet another tool that I happen to use. It's a tool for design teams. They publish interesting and highly focused content for creative professionals. These are just a few, but I'm sure that if you look at a few of the blogs of your favorite companies, you'll find a strong commitment to quality content. Now, the next question you must figure out is how to produce quality content and do it at scale. Well, again, it starts with consistency. Everything you put into your content process should be built into a system that can run repeatedly for a long-term basis. I'll cover more about systems and automation in a bit. Sooner or later, you'll want to start to think about leveraging your team. Now, there are a few different ways that you can go with this. You can delegate specific tasks to freelancers and assistants, or some teams have their own employees from other parts of their business, like their developers, customer support people, salespeople, all contributing content to their blog. Or you can outsource the entire process to a done-for-you content service, like the one that Audience Apps offers, or hire an agency. Regardless of which way you go, it's imperative that you understand the process and keep it consistent. Which brings me to content checklists. Every type of content that you produce should have a checklist. For example, a checklist for blog articles, a checklist for videos, a checklist for podcast episodes, and so on. Your checklist should cover every step in the process and also specify who on your team is responsible and how long each task should take to complete. Then you can use these checklists to run your content on a consistent schedule. Our Audience Apps calendar software helps you manage these checklists and assigns tasks to your team automatically based on your content calendar. It also comes with a few of our recommended checklists built in. But early on, the most important thing that you can do is simply document your content checklists. Now, yours will depend on your own preferences for the type of content that your company should be producing. But here are just a few ideas that you'll probably want to include in your checklists. Research, outlining, drafting headlines, keyword research, word counts, images, creating the featured image, formatting the blog post or whatever type of content it is, creating an email newsletter for it, scheduling social media posts, doing influencer outreach, repurposing the content. Again, these are just common things that typically go into a checklist for creating content, but what will go into yours will largely depend on the actual type of content that you're producing for your audience and your business. Now we come to the section that we get asked about a lot, traffic. What I'm going to focus on here are systematic, repeatable strategies that you can use to gain exposure and reach for your content. I'll cover two types of strategies, short-term and long-term. Let's start with the short-term strategies. These are things that you can do every time you publish a new piece of content in order to get it out there and get the traffic wheels turning. The first tip is to promote new content across your own channels. This includes all of your social media profiles, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, whichever other networks make sense for you. Be sure to pre-schedule multiple social posts throughout the first few days and into future weeks. Highlight different quotes, images, and alternate headlines with each social post. You also want to send an email newsletter to your list. Tell them about this new piece of content that you just launched and tell them why it's important and give them the link to come back to your blog and read it. Remember, these are your most loyal audience members, the people who've opted into your list. and they're most likely to share your stuff, so it's critical that you invite them back to your site every time you publish something new. If you happen to run a software product, you can try pushing new content into the dashboard of your app using something like Intercom. Next, you'll want to find the places online where your target customers hang out and discuss the kinds of topics that you're publishing about. For example, Quora, Reddit, Facebook groups, LinkedIn groups, online forums in your industry, or other online communities. Find relevant threads or questions that people are asking, and then hop in with a relevant, helpful reply, and then offer a link to read more about this topic over on your blog. All right, the next tip here is influencer outreach. You can send off a few personal emails to people who have sizable audiences who might have an interest in sharing your content. Now, personally, I'm not a huge fan of completely cold emails asking strangers to share your content, because usually there's nothing in it for them. But here's a good way to do it without coming off as spammy. First, reference and link to an influencer in your content. Quote something that they said which helps support a point that you're making in your content. And then after this article has published, then shoot them an email to let them know, hey, we just mentioned you in our new article today. I hope you like it. And you can do the same if you've interviewed a guest on your podcast. You want to let them know that their podcast episode has just gone live. And so after you let them know that this piece of content is just launched and that they've been featured in it, this often results in a share. But if not, that's okay too. And if you don't know the person's email address, you can try mentioning them on Twitter too. Here's a look at a tweet that we sent out to let a few brands know that we mentioned them in a new article that we published. Finally, we come to paid traffic. Many brands use promoted posts on Facebook to boost new content and get it into the news feeds of people who share interests with their target customers. By sharing free, insightful content and not trying to sell them on something straight away, this is a great way to reach brand new, cold audiences and invite them to your site for a first-time visit. Okay, now I'll cover a few long-term tips that will help you grow sustainable levels of traffic month after month. First is to just focus your top-of-funnel efforts on gaining email subscribers. Every piece of content should come with opportunities to join your email list. Content upgrades or opt-ins offering a bonus download with every post. These are great ways to constantly add entry points to your email list with every new blog post. Larger email lead magnets like an ebook, an email course, or a webinar, these are also great ways to add email subscribers. The key is to offer something of value in exchange for their email address. Your goal as time goes on is to increase your content footprint, meaning as you publish more and more quality content pieces on your site, this adds an ever-growing list of destinations where new people can find you in search engines, social media, or referrals. A strong linking strategy and a consistent publishing schedule help Google rank and index your site. Speaking of Google search, it's important to optimize your content for both short and long tail keywords. A short tail keyword may be more competitive, but it's worth it to build out a comprehensive hub of content around that keyword. Now, this has a dual benefit. First, it pushes your site into the mix for a high volume keyword, so it helps you capture some of that traffic. And two, it's a highly valuable educational resource for your customers, which covers a topic that is core to your product's focus. Then, linking off from your main hub page should be more specific content pieces which are targeted at long tail keywords. Again, these capture search traffic because long tail keywords are easier to rank for, but they also educate your leads and customers and they help you build trust. Now let's come back to the example that I showed you earlier, Help Scout. They've built several of these hubs of content. One of their hubs targets a short tail keyword, customer acquisition. That's a competitive keyword. This main hub page for their customer acquisition guide links off to more specific articles such as acquiring customers with email and using psychology to convert customers, which are long tail keywords. Now, I just gave you a bunch of interrelated traffic strategies to think about, but let's get back to basics for a second. Here's the low-hanging fruit for you to work on first. Make sure that every time you publish a new piece of content, you're also pushing this content to your social media channels as well as your email list. You should have tools and processes in place to ensure that this gets done every single time. By the way, our Audience Ops calendar software lets you pre-schedule and automate your social media postings for every upcoming article in your calendar. It also lets you pre-write and schedule outreach emails ahead of time so that you don't have to remember to do it after your article goes live. And now we come to part 4, automation. The key question to ask when putting all this content marketing stuff together is how to keep your content engine running week in, week out, all year long. And more importantly, how to do it without eating up all the founder's time and focus. If you're the founder, then that means you. It helps to break this down into a 3-part process: roles, delegation, and automation. All right, let's start with roles. List out all the roles that are required to execute all the steps in your content plan. For example, here at Audience Ops, we define our roles as follows. The manager tracks deadlines and handles quality assurance and reporting. The content strategist does audience research, keyword research, and topic planning. The writer researches specific topics, creates outlines, and writes the content. The editor does copy editing and makes improvements to the content. The designer creates the featured image and any diagrams or other images that support the content. The assistant, sometimes a VA or an intern, handles the formatting, setup, scheduling, and distribution of content. And the marketer manages paid advertising campaigns and sets up email marketing automation. Now, since we're a content marketing company, we have dedicated people for all of these roles, but it's common for businesses to have the same person managing several roles. And of course, the makeup of your roles may be different depending on the type of content that you produce. For example, if you run a podcast, you would need someone to host it and an audio editor, or if you do video content, then you would need videography, and so on. Next, we come to delegation. Now, this is your low-hanging fruit task for this section. Take a few minutes to figure out who will handle which roles in your content marketing strategy. Which roles will you handle yourself? Which roles can you delegate to an in-house employee? And which roles will you need to outsource to a freelancer or a done-for-you service? For example, you may decide to handle the content strategy in-house, but hire freelancers and VAs to handle the production work. Or you or your in-house marketing person can handle most of the content creation, but you'll need to outsource the more technical tasks. With your roles and assignments all squared away, you come to automation. This is where you need to figure out which software tools and workflows can help you automate parts of your process and streamline everything. Our Audience Ops calendar software is designed to automate a lot of your content production, scheduled tasks, and reporting, as well as social media promotion. That automation is built in, but there are plenty of other social media scheduling tools out there as well. Email marketing automation tools can handle your lead nurturing sequence. Overall, there are just a ton of different tools out there, and none of our training requires any one tool, so it's really just a matter of preference here. The key is to define your roles, figure out who will be handling what, as well as nailing down a really bulletproof process, and then from there you can figure out areas where you can streamline with automation tools. So today I gave you the high-level vision for what your content marketing system could look like. With your system in place, you'll be able to speed past those marketing bottlenecks and really drive traffic, leads, and sales in new ways. Plus, you'll be able to do it all in a sustainable way that doesn't eat up all of your time. After all, you've got a business to run. Now, putting it into action is your next step. And our mission at Audience Ops is to enable you to start and scale your content marketing system. Do it fast, do it easily, and do it effectively. As you may know already, Audience Ops offers 3 main products. First is Audience Ops Calendar, our flagship software which automates and streamlines your content production and enables you to measure results. Then there's our training program called Content Marketing Game Plan. This program gives you our systems, checklists, guidelines, and training for you and your team to get up and running with content. And finally, our Done For You content service, where our team will craft high-value content assets for you and keep publishing for you on a consistent basis. Now, if you've browsed our website, you'll see that each of these are offered separately with their own pricing and packages. But today, you'll get access to exclusive pricing options with a unique bundle discount that's not offered anywhere else. I'll tell you about that in just a moment. First, let me give you a quick rundown and show you how these actually work for your business. I'll show you our Audience Ops calendar software first. Here's what you can do with it. It's a content calendar tool made specifically for content marketing. You can create checklist templates that automatically assign people and due dates to recurring tasks, all based on the publish date of your content. So let's say that you publish new blog posts every Monday. Your checklist will automatically set the appropriate lead time to get your drafts done, social media scheduled, and everything set up to publish on time, every time. You could pre-schedule a queue of social media posts to promote new content starting from the day that that content publishes. So you'll never post a broken link again, because if you move a blog post around in your calendar, your social posts will move with it. It gives you a handy ideas list where you can collect all of those ideas for new content. You can email yourself ideas, solicit ideas from your team, and prioritize them in the order that you need. Then set up automated scheduling so that new ideas are continuously being added to your calendar and sent into production. Finally, you can measure the performance of each individual piece of content. You can see traffic stats and set conversion goals so that you know which pieces of content are performing best, which helps you then plan better content in the future. You can set up automated performance reports to be emailed to you or your clients on a weekly or monthly basis. So that's Audience Ops Calendar. We have standard pricing tiers for solo users, teams, and agencies available on our website. But today you'll get an exclusive package pricing, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. Next is our other product, our training program called Content Marketing Game Plan. This is the definitive training for you and your team to get our system, strategy, checklists, guidelines, and everything that you need to launch and scale content marketing for your business. It's all aimed at driving sustainable, growing traffic over time and converting leads to customers with a systematic, evergreen strategy built around strong educational content. So here's what you get in the Content Marketing Game Plan program. It starts with the playbook, a 200-plus page book that I wrote along with input from my team at Audience Ops. It gives you the step-by-step strategies to start implementing our system within 30 days. You'll get access to 7 video training modules, which cover all the key sections from the playbook. Those 7 modules are building your content strategy, assembling your content infrastructure, mapping out your sales funnel, planning content, producing content, promoting content, and measurement and optimization. You'll get access to all of our templates, checklists, SOPs, guidelines, and worksheets. Now, these are ready to use. Give them to your team and put them into action right away in your business. Also included is a series of teardown interviews with some of the best content marketers from some of the web's most respected companies. I sat down and interviewed them and asked them to take us behind the scenes of how they actually run content at their business. You'll be amazed at some of the insights and actionable takeaways that you wouldn't otherwise see just from following what they do in public. And finally, if you want more personalized guidance, you can upgrade to the coaching option, which includes 2 recorded strategy calls with a content strategist from Audience Ops. We'll work with you on planning the best content topics for your audience, and we'll get you and your team set up and running. So that's Content Marketing Game Plan, our training program. Now today I'm going to share some exclusive package and pricing options for our products that are not available anywhere else. These specials are only available through this webinar. Now there are 2 different specials to choose from, and here they are. Webinar special number 1 is for you if you're interested in getting started with our training program, Content Marketing Game Plan. And webinar special number 2 is for you if you also want to use our Audience Ops calendar software. and this is the most valuable bundle that we offer. Let's start with webinar special number 1. This is for our training program that I just told you about called Content Marketing Game Plan. Again, you'll get lifetime access to the 200+ page playbook, 7 video training modules, all of the templates, checklists, and guidelines, our series of teardown interviews with content marketers from Buffer, Help Scout, Lead Pages, and others. You'll also get lifetime access to our private Slack community. Plus, this will come with an extended 2-month free trial of our Audience Ops calendar software once that becomes available. Now, the normal price for this package, as offered through our website, will be $495. And in early 2017, when this product is fully launched, the special price that we'll be promoting through this webinar will be $395 for this package. But as of today, while we're still early in the year and this program hasn't fully launched yet, for just a limited time, we're offering the ability to pre-purchase now at a substantial discount that won't be offered later when the program is ready. And that pre-purchase price is $149. That's a 70% discount off of what it will cost after it's launched. So here's how this will work. When you purchase for $149 today, you'll be added to our prepaid customers list. As soon as the program is ready, you'll be the very first to gain access to it. And you'll have lifetime access to all future updates to the program, as well as lifetime access to our private Slack community. All I ask is that you help give us constructive feedback and help make this course as useful as possible for you. Now, we expect it to be ready sometime during the second quarter of 2017. If at any time between now and the time that we launch, you change your mind, you can request a full refund and we'll honor that, no questions asked. Okay, so that's webinar special number 1. Now here's webinar special number 2. This is a package deal for both our training program and our Audience Ops calendar software. And this bundle is not offered anywhere else, and it's the best value available. Once again, as of today, both of these products are not ready yet, but they will be launching to the public in early 2017. So for now, I'm going to give you a preview of what this package deal will look like later in the year once these products have launched. The bundle will include a 1-year subscription to Audience Ops Calendar on our team plan, which allows for up to 5 users. The normal price for this plan, when purchased through our website, will be $948 per year. It will also include our training program, Content Marketing Game Plan. Again, the normal price for that is $495. And so later this year, after these products have launched, this bundle will be promoted through this webinar for $795. But today, for a limited time, we're offering an option to pre-purchase this bundle at a substantial discount that won't be available later. Now, it'll work a little bit differently while we're in this pre-launch phase. So here's how it'll work. As of today, you'll gain access to our private beta of Audience Ops Calendar. You can start using it today. However, the feature set is somewhat limited since we're still in the process of building it. And you'll keep access up to and through the launch to the public, which is expected to happen during the first half of 2017. And once we open the doors to the public, you'll then still have free access to use Audience Ops Calendar for 3 months. And then after that, which takes us into late 2017, at that time you can choose any of our plans and lock in a 30% lifetime discount. This is the only time that we'll be offering a lifetime discount of any kind. It's during this pre-launch phase. This bundle also includes access to our training program, which is also expected to be ready during the first half of 2017. So you can pre-purchase this bundle today for $299. So to recap, these are our 2 webinar specials that we're running right now. Both are available only for a limited time here in early 2017 while these products are still being created. Special number 1 enables you to pre-purchase our training program for $149, and you'll be the first to gain access to it when it arrives in the second quarter of 2017. Special number 2 gives you private beta access to Audience Ops Calendar right now and locks in a 30% lifetime discount starting later this year. And you'll get access to our training program as well. And this bundle is clearly the best value that we offer, and it's currently priced at $299. To purchase either of these special offers today, head over to audienceops.com/webinar special. And if you have any questions at all, just reach out using the live chat on this page. If we can't answer your question immediately, you'll certainly hear from us within a day. So thanks so much for tuning in today. I appreciate your time. Again, reach out with any questions. Head over to audienceops.com/webinar special to take advantage of these offers here early in the year while they're still available. And I hope to connect with you soon. Thanks.